What is up, gamers? Staxwell is back at it again today with another market watch. TCG Players Black Friday sale kind of ran its course on the markets. A couple of interesting movements, couple of buyouts, whole lot to talk about. Let's just go ahead and jump straight into it here. Hold the line was targeted for a bit of a buyout. Cheapest copy on the market is $10. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is about $15. Makes sense with all of the Ninja Art of Wars or the Blood Rush Bellows or the Tome of Imperial Flames running around. Also, people just stocking up on good generic cards. Absolutely makes sense. Honestly, I still think there's a bit of room for this to go up. I don't think this is quite the meta game for it yet. I do think it's an interesting tech choice in this meta, but I imagine at some point in the future this will be like a staple in the meta. But yeah, I do think it's probably still a good pickup at this price. Melting Point is the next one. For those who don't know, this is the ranger action that if it has an aim counter, it hits your opponent, destroys a one-handed weapon they control. Very good when you consider all of the ninjas running around, specifically the Kodachi ninjas running around, right? Being able to destroy one of their Kodachi seems pretty powerful, along with the new assassin support that's coming out. This could be a interesting spec for the future in that you'll be able to start destroying spiders' bites and things like that. Cheapest copy on the market is only 75 cents. So if you don't have a copy, I think it's well worth your time. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is about the same price. So yeah, again, if you don't have a playset, I would say just pick them up now. Magnetic Shockwave has gone down a lot since Lexi's been banned. For those who don't know, that this just kind of makes your opponent block with all of their equipment. This was very strong against Lexi because you make them block with New Horizons and it's a good day. I'm just not sure if people are just not thinking about it or not realizing it, but this is probably how Mech beats Ninja as well, making them block with their Mask of the Momentum and their Shuko and things like that. Could just give you such a huge edge in that matchup. I don't see why this price went down as much as it did. Used to be like $40. Now the cheapest on the market is $20. I think it's a very good pickup at the moment. Evo Soul Steel Tower. This was another one that was kind of dried up over the weekend, over the Black Friday sale weekend here. There's only 3 left on the market. Well, 3 sellers left on the market. Star City has 24 of them. So the price of this card is now $17.22 until those cards disappear. The Evo Steel Soul Controller, the ARM pieces, also got kind of bought out here. Again, just a few sellers. Star City Games having 21 copies. Cheapest on the market is $15. These two do make a lot of sense to me because Dash.io, Max, regular Dash, things like that are playing the arms and the legs, but not the other pieces. So I do want to bring up the other pieces. This kind of shows you it's not getting bought out for any Teklovasan reasons or anything. Evo Steel Soul Memory is only $6. And yeah, it's not played in Dash or anything like that, so this one does make a lot of sense. Just the arms and the legs are the only ones really targeted at the moment, and I think for good reason. Surgical Extraction, we got we got 2 new Arachne cards spoiled. People are very excited for them, so of course Surgical Extraction's kind of disappearing from the market. Cheapest copy on the market is $28. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is about $70, so this card's kind of going a little bit crazy right now. Speaking of Arachne, we do have the Cold Foil Adult Arachne as well. This was an Armory promo from back in the Dynasty block, the Dynasty days. Cheapest copy on the market is $32. I think this price for an adult hero is probably still relatively cheap, even considering how easy it was to pick up at the time. All you needed to do was win a local. But even granted that easier barrier to entry than most Cold Foil heroes, I do still think it's a bit cheap. Imperial Ledger. For those who don't know, this is if you're royal, create a gold token and shuffle this back in your deck. So in a game where you're being fatigued, this is kind of like an infinite source of gold tokens at the cost of action points. This could be something that Kasai might want to do against slower decks, slower game plans that just want to block her out. She might just say, okay, well, now I'm blocking you out, and I'm cycling Imperial Ledgers against you and just creating a bunch of gold tokens, and then I'm going to combo you out at the end of the game with all of them. I think that could be a strategy that she employs. Probably not, but the Cold Foil is only $7. And then, of course, there's so many other applications for this, right? There could be like any hero that cares about gold ever in the future will think about Imperial Ledger and a Crown of Dominion. Speaking of Crown of Dominion, you start the game with a gold token. I think the Rainbow Foil gold token is kind of low-key slept on. It's only $4 for the cheapest copy on the market, and there's only like 10 copies on the market or something like that. Gold is also a huge focus in the Heavy Hitters set upcoming, and the Heavy Hitters does come with like gold tokens in there, but this is what they look like. They look kind of cartoony, a little bit goofy, a little bit too Fortnite for my taste. I like the European medieval fantasy look that the original Dynasty gold token has. I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat as me. I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking this. So getting the OG art on these gold tokens is probably a good idea, especially only for $4. It seems like a great pickup. If not, you're going to be stuck playing with this goofy thing. Yeah, $4 cheapest rainbow. I think it's a good pickup. Give and take, again, staying on that theme of people getting smart to cards that say generic at the bottom of them. Cheapest copy on the market is $13, and there's only like 12 copies left. This card's very good in things like the Emperor and things like Uzuri, things like Dromai. So many more decks are starting to pick this up and realizing the potential of like having a mini remembrance built into your attack action. Turns out is actually kind of a powerful effect, particularly when it's blocking for 3. I still think this card has a lot of room to go up. I think this is like one of the best cards that came out of Outsiders. Tiger Stripe Shuko, cheapest rainbow foil on the market is $34, and the cold foils, people are finally starting to get a little bit smart on those. Cheapest cold foil Tiger Stripe Shuko on the market is $71. Crown of Dominion is just going totally crazy. I feel like I pull it up and talk about it every week, and then every week it just goes higher and higher. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is $75. That's right, the rainbow foil is $75. The cold foil is only about $80, so if you're going to pick it up, I highly recommend getting the cold foil. Already Dead is definitely spiking as well. There's about less than 10 copies of this on the market as well. There's one up here for $25 from a non-verified seller, and then it's pretty much $40 all the way down. So yeah, this Arachne spoilers definitely have people hype. Totally makes sense. Assassin, as soon as it was announced, as soon as it was spoiled, was like a fan favorite class from the very moment that we realized it could be a possibility. So anytime there's going to be a good assassin like card spoiled or assassin support or assassin deck tops, just expect every assassin card to go crazy every time that happens, just because of how much people love the archetype. Emboldened Blade, I actually don't say this much, but I think this is a pretty bad card, a pretty bad pickup. It was subjugated to a bit of a buyout though. Cheapest copy on the market is $15. A big reason for this is because the Bright Lights expansion slot that this card comes in is way more underprinted than originally anticipated. The scarcity of it is there. I just think it's bad because the playability to me is just not there. On Emboldened Blade's best day, all it's doing is destroying a card from your opponent, which is 3 points of value, and giving your next weapon attack +1, so that's 4 points of value total. I just don't think that that's enough for how situational it is to be worth a slot. I can't imagine that this card's going to be played at all. That's just my hot take on it, I guess. If you are looking to pick it up, I guess the cheapest copy on the market is $15, $16. Again, I personally would recommend against it. Cranial Crush, and for that matter, all supers from Welcome to Wraith. I think the rainbow foil supers from Welcome to Wraith are a bit undervalued, a bit underlooked at in general, and I think Cranial Crush is probably the best example of this. I think every Guardian is just going to play this forever, probably. It'd be very tough to power creep Cranial Crush with a straight face. So cheapest rainbow foil copy on the market is $4.50, and there's tons of them. You could easily get a playset of this for this price, and by tons, there's like 15 of them. So yeah. Reckless Swing is another good example. I think just people like Assassin, it doesn't actually matter if Reckless Swing is good or if it's bad or whatever you think of this card. People love Reckless Swing. So for that reason alone, I think that this card will be a good investment. $3 for the cheapest copy on the market. Again, there's like 15 of them. If you guys are looking at this, I always get comments saying like, well, this video's been up for 12 hours and by the time I got here, everything was bought out. I do have a solution to that as well. You guys can always go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description below. I post all of my Market Watch content here a couple hours early before I put it live, just to kind of give my day ones a little bit of a head start on that. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and help the algorithm help me out just a little bit later, gamers.